All right.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm going to go live now. All right, and welcome back.
All
right.
Shut up, dude. No, I don't even like that intro, dude. It's not for the podcast.
Okay. Well, we're CrashCast, episode 2.
Yeah, I know.
Here we are.
All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode of What Happens When You Pack a Punch, the podcast. Just like, bro, no.
What?
Dude.
Okay.
Let us have some freestyle on it, bro. Go ahead.
We gotta do an intro because there's a few things we need to say. One, the podcast is now on Spotify. Left has been uploading to Spotify, so there will be a link to the Spotify playlist below. If you actually want to listen to it like a podcast in the car, and on top of it, me uploading this onto the channel, you can also watch it live on Silky's Twitch channel, which will be linked below as well. So there's 3 different ways you can watch it. Here, as a pre-recorded, as a full video length on the channel here. The links for the Spotify below are Silky's stream where we stream it there. So 3 different ways you can watch it live, you can watch it pre-recorded, or you can watch just the audio version to listen in the car. But yeah, this is probably going to be a fairly heavy zombies podcast because the trailer was launched today. Because that's usually where people listen to podcasts. Car, they're running, they're doing stuff. Not at home is usually when you listen.
Yeah. I mean, you could listen to one at home if that's what you're into. Whatever you do.
Yeah, but
while you're cleaning your house.
Whatever you do, though. All right. First of all, I woke up this morning. What the hell? I did the flip.
What?
When I did the flip,
man got to make his bed. For anyone listening.
Okay. First of all, real talk. I watched that trailer this morning. Crazy. Everything that I wanted to be.
The Wonder Weapons. The Wonder Weapons are the best part, dude. I am more excited about those Wonder Weapons than I am about anything else. The variety.
I mean, the Wonder Weapons look kind of.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They look like your typical shoot lasers. Like they don't do anything different. It's just a pistol that does.
The Wonder Weapons are cool.
One of them heat seeking.
One of the
I'm more excited for where the story's going.
Oh yeah, okay. So one of them. I remember in if you play Dead Ops Arcade, the chicken, it shoots the same bullet that you do. That's exactly what it is, but just in the little orb thing that's gonna be going crazy. I'm personally so stoked for this map. That trailer really got me like super horny this morning when I woke up. I definitely would.
Really?
Same.
No.
You watch it live? Watch it live on stream with me? Or you watch it on your own account?
I woke up like way later. But no, I watched that stream bricked up. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, this map is gonna go crazy. Real talk though, the map was like, that was a good map. That was a good trailer. It looks good.
To be fair, all trailers are good.
There's a lot in it though.
I do want to say though, like, I was really serious about, or I told you that it was zombies. They weren't portals. They were zombies, like in this like frozen state.
Yeah.
And they I think it's supposed to be a keeper that's coming back, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it's supposed to be.
That was Skeletor.
Who the hell is Skeletor?
Oh no.
You don't know who Skeletor is? Oh my god.
This is from COD Zombies, right?
Yeah, Skeletor.
No.
It was from Black Ops 1.
I call him Skullman.
It's from Masters of the Universe.
You opened the NPD and Skeletor popped out. You remember that? The second part of the Moon Easter egg?
That's a different topic altogether.
Samantha opened up and it was Skeletor.
Like the skin from Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. No. I know Skull Trooper.
Yeah, that's where he's from.
It's an alternate skin for Skull Trooper.
Like that already. I thought Warzone and Fortnite hated each other, so that's cool to see.
Oh no, why would they?
I don't know. I mean, the communities are always beefing.
But all right.
I mean, that's the community though, not the actual company.
So.
How do you guys feel about the Gersh devices? The fact that they're going to be craftable, and the fact that they're craftable means that you're going to be able to use them on FIREBASE-Z, D-Machine, and Outbreak now.
I think it's super crazy.
It's going to change everything.
That we didn't even know. Are you sure they're going to be available for all? If they're craftable, I think they might be.
They have to be. They're craftable. They're not just going to add it.
I'm thinking a buildable bench, honestly. I think that's like the Aether scope, right? You craft it on the machine.
Oh, yeah.
I don't personally think that it'll be across maps because it's so specific. Like that technology is for Berlin, right? Wherever facility we're going to. That's why we won't have Klaus and other maps. I don't think we might get an Outbreak at some point, but I think those are going to be like very Mauer der Toten specific
I think they
things.
potentially upgrade the armor stand to allow that little thing on the side to where you can upgrade and get. Like I think this is going to be the year of them going back, upgrading previous maps. Because beforehand, we've never seen them adding perks to older maps when we get new perks. But with the Wonder Fizz machine, they're doing that. I really do think
that's the only thing though.
Yeah, because it's the only thing that's been added. Every other new specialist has been added to all the maps at once. Like
we didn't get the little entrapment devices.
Yeah, that was part of the Easter egg. That wasn't really. That was a wonder weapon. I don't think we're gonna get the wonder weapons
on D Machine.
I don't think we're gonna get the wonder weapons for all maps.
Do you need them on any map? Except it's only like if you're not playing Easter egg, do you really need it at all?
I think
we even got it in Outbreak.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but these are more than like the entrapment devices.
Last time you could use them.
Yeah, but those are mainly for the Easter egg. They've confirmed that these are going to, one, kill zombies and teleport them to Dark Aether, and they're going to allow you to travel around the map, kind of like they're going to act just like the Gersh devices did. This is more than
Wouldn't
just
it be kind of awkward, though, for you to be on D Machine, right? You start trapping zombies like crazy in this little Pokeball, and then you go into the Dark Aether to turn pack on, and you got like 15,000 zombies just sitting there like, man, we're worried.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Yeah, okay. Okay, because you're right. They do go to the Dark Aether, so funny. You go, and that would be hilarious if they just pile up there.
I still don't really think they're going to do that like that. I think that's going to be a map-specific thing, especially since it's going to be a part of the Easter egg.
Yeah,
you're gonna throw something out of the map, and you're going to have to suck it up, and I don't think it's going to be like across. I would love for them to bring it back or like to update it.
Fair point.
I mean, I think they might be craftable, like you said, Silky, but if they do that, then they might be like, you know, a one-time use thing, and I don't think that's gonna be the case.
It'll be like,
I think you're gonna be able to, you know, make them as many times as you want on that map.
No, because the thing is, Silky, what you're saying
at the crafting bench.
Yeah, because if they're not dropping from zombies, it's not like the old system where you'd get one every max ammo. Like if you throw them, they're gone. You'd have to go back to the crafting table and buy them again. That's why I think.
Is that how you think they're gonna do it? I personally don't think there'll be a craftable item in the, because if they're a craftable item on the with scrap, then that means that they're gonna have to implement it in all their maps. But if it's an actual buildable item like the Aethers, I mean, they can't update like they're going to. You know what I mean? Like that's a constant in all zombies.
Yeah,
same
like
with the
no matter what,
Fizz.
they're always gonna add.
Right. Like it's gonna be the Wonder Fizz is always gonna be updated across maps. So will the craftable bench. Same with when we get new score streaks, they add it in all maps. Same with droppable items. If zombies drop a specific item, they're gonna drop in all maps as well. You know what I mean? Like any tactical. If they added flash grenades for some reason, they would do the same thing. Or, you know.
All right, fair point. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I see both opinions. We'll just have to see. We'll find out next week. We could kind of do a revisited version of the podcast then.
I'm trying to take the time off, bro. We're first in the world for that Easter egg. I'm telling you. Ain't nobody stopping us.
What else about the, I mean, I don't care too much about the story stuff. The mule cake machine gonna shoot zombies as you buy the perk.
Wait,
that was insane, dude.
So I don't care about the story.
Yeah, nobody does.
Nobody does anymore. I stopped caring after Moon.
Does anybody? No, okay, that's a little early.
I don't even know the
I
character
stopped caring
names.
after. Honestly, Black Ops 4.
I know there's Max.
This whole game
doing here then.
And
really, Black Ops 4, I didn't really like that either. In terms, story, it was. I didn't like the ending of Black Ops 4, but I liked Black Ops 4. I find the
story extremely interesting, and I can't wait to find out where it goes.
Black Ops 4, I didn't care for at all.
Story-wise, who do you guys think that person was at the very end of the trailer? They said that
Valentina.
Skeletor.
We have to go back and do what she did.
100%.
I couldn't tell if it was a woman
Valentina.
or if it was.
That was a
woman,
it
could have been.
Especially when
this is what happens when you don't pay attention to the story. You don't know what's happening. So it's Valentina. It's 100.
I couldn't tell if it was a woman or a man. You know, like the only relevant people in the whole story.
You've seen her before. She looks exactly like that.
Yeah, especially with the way the blacked out shape looks. It's definitely her.
It's her. But
yeah. I mean, I also just don't really care about the story though. That's like, I really like. There's really nothing. I've been so connected. We're talking about the map.
But the story is a massive part of the map.
No, I mean, not really. You don't have to be indulged in the story to play the map.
Have fun.
I mean, the Easter egg is the map.
Yeah, but it's also fun just to do the Easter egg. Like, I had fun doing the Easter egg.
I mean, I didn't know all of the lore, but I'll still do. Like, I don't know much about like the Victus crew story. Like, but I still do like the buried Easter egg. You know what I mean? I'll still go back and do. I definitely won't do transit. Take that back. But you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta know the basics. All I know is that our team Requiem or whatever got captured by Omega 1. I don't know, and killed Raptor 1, and now we're going back. You know, it's not like I'm not really looking at the ins and outs. You know, especially because say you were going on what's a Horizon drop, right? You walk into Samantha's room. There's no significance like that in any of the Cold War maps that we've gotten. You don't like you walk in and knock. That's probably like the most significant thing. FIREBASE-Z doesn't have any callbacks or any like little room Easter eggs. The rooms just aren't really purposeful. They're all just like, you know what I mean? So the map's not gonna. It doesn't really. I don't care too much about the story with that in that regard. Does that make sense?
Yep. That's actually a good segue into our very first. We have a channel on the Discord called CrashCast Request. And the very first one is, if you could write off the ending of Cold War Zombies, how would it play out?
They kill the whole storyline and bring back chaos.
Maxis X. I mean, that's all we need.
Honestly.
No.
Or Maxis X, too.
That's it. That's just it. That's the grand finale.
He's got a very good point with that, dude.
With Orda.
Eddie and Max is just...
No.
Orda. Oh, Orda.
With Orda.
Oh, yeah.
With Orda.
I really do think that they should... I personally like Chaos enough to where I would care about Chaos more than whatever the direction of Cold War is going in right now.
Chaos.
I honestly forgot everything about Chaos, so I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I didn't really pay much attention to it either, but I still prefer that over Cold War.
Yeah,
I don't know. I pay more attention to Cold Wars for some reason.
Chaos seemed like it had a lot of potential, right? But they were writing 2 stories at once, which is the problem. It just Chaos was good.
Okay, I could see that.
No, let's be honest. If Chaos was Cold War alone, I think everybody would pay attention to it. The fact that Chaos came out while we're all still awaiting the very, very big ending of Aether, we're like, whoa, like what's going on? Now they're trying to introduce another story. That was, you can't split your
no, that's true. All right,
attention like that hard. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
DX, you agree?
How would you change it? How do you, if you could write the ending right now? You talking to the directors? Whatever you say goes.
Yeah. What would you do?
Well, I think that we definitely need to see where the story is going to be going with Ravenoff and Max.
Well, you pick it. You're writing it right now. You're making it. What do you want?
Yeah, and I think that we definitely shouldn't kill off Maxis at all.
She's already done. She's dead.
She's the future of all of this.
Nope.
Hey, let him write a story.
Whatever I want.
DX, do us a favor though, real quick.
Nope.
Do us a favor. Turn your camera off and turn it back on. Just real quick.
Is that our intermission sound?
All right. You should be. Yeah. Now you're a little synced up. It just keeps going out of sync over time, but we're good now.
Here's another good one from the CrashCast request.
Wait, hold on. DX didn't let him finish.
You want to finish?
I don't even remember what I was gonna say now.
You were saying that you didn't want to kill Maxis off, and then.
Well, it's hard to predict because we don't know where this map's going.
We're not predicting.
We're making it.
You write the story. You got the pin.
Well, I think it needs to end with us bringing back the original crew somehow. Because
really?
I think because Richthofen's in this universe, we know that, and as much as he acted like he didn't like Dempsey and Nikolai and Takio, I think that they were very important to him.
Yeah.
So I think that he's gonna, if he is still who he was before, which I know we don't know anything about him yet, but then I think he's gonna try and seek them out because they are out there in some other universe. Even though they were
that's what I was gonna
destroyed.
Ask. Does anybody know if when they killed themselves in the forest? Does anybody know if they killed themselves across all multiverses, or did they?
Yeah, we don't know. I'm
pretty sure they killed themselves across all multiverses, which is why we don't see any like.
Well, it wouldn't die.
It wouldn't be as significant.
He was.
We see Nikolai die twice actually. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in the ending cutscene, like they say that they make it seem like Samantha killed him, but we never see it. And I'm always skeptical on anything when you don't see somebody die on screen. You see them die off screen.
I felt like
there's
that one
always
was definitely him.
There's always some like ambiguity there.
I think they killed him, to be honest. Especially with the fact that her and Eddie were the only 2 people walking through. I think they just like where would he go? He definitely didn't want to like that whole
thing. They can make up whatever they want.
Was put to rest. I guess that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
And they keep saying, "Yeah, we don't want to bring back these characters," but that's exactly what you would say when you don't want to actually let anybody know that that's what you're doing.
No, I think they're trying to get people to like stop hoping that they're gonna bring it back. Otherwise, everyone's gonna be let down every time. So if they even have any type of well, yeah, that's true. But if they had any ambiguity that, like, look, like, what if they said, your favorite 4 coming back to Cold War, right? And everybody,
Misty?
God, like like, yo, we know exactly who this for is, but like they were like,
it's Victus.
Or if it was like, here's Skeletor,
or it's the 5 crew.
You know what I mean? It would be so like 5 would actually make a lot of sense in this game.
I mean, I'd be fine with that.
If they ever got a chance, I don't know if any of the, I don't think any of the voice actors died. So please, Treyarch.
I mean, I've always wondered, like, if they're gonna do Chronicles 2, like, how are they gonna do that? Are they just gonna have us be forced to play those characters that were on those maps, or are they gonna do operators on those, and then they'll feel very.
Yep.
I think they're gonna do operators for those as well, because in terms of the storyline, right?
God, I hope not.
Unless we don't, I mean, I know we're gonna close the Aether portals, but I think that's the point of us. Like, it'll be like, oh, here's a hole in this area wherever transit took place, right? Now we teleport to transit and retry and close the Dark Aether there. You know what I mean? Or that'd be like, it would intertwine with its own Easter egg. I think it would just take a lot more time because they'd have to adjust the Easter eggs unless they wanted to make it classic. I don't know, but if you wanted to do that,
I hope they just give us the original like crews that were on those maps, because if they just are like, you can be anybody you want on these maps, then it just won't make sense. They'll feel hollow like these maps.
Well, it would make sense though. It would still, I think it would still make sense. The only thing the big thing we would come back with is atmosphere, right? If we got a map like Buried remastered, regardless of who I'm playing as, Shangri-La as well. I mean, I don't know if they do.
I would love that.
Maps. But if they got a map like
the BO1 maps, I don't care about anything else.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really much of a fan of the BO1 maps.
Me neither. I don't really care for them too much.
Yeah.
I'd rather play literally any god than anything else. Bring back Horizon Drake, and then we could talk. You know what I'm saying? Bring back my BO3 babies. You know what I'm saying? Accessible. You can keep that. But bring back the Giant. I'll take Darius any day. I don't care what iteration. I don't care what.
That was on BO1.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what version, game. If they bring back Darius, I'm totally cool with that. Every time.
I got you.
It's like Nuketown, but in zombies.
I would love Nuketown as well. I want them to bring back. Nuketown hasn't been in the thing since BO2, and I think it's been way too long. They should have brought that back with Chronicles.
I mean, BO4 they had Alpha Omega.
The same thing basically, just at a bunker.
Alpha Omega.
Alpha Omega was fire, bro. I don't know. I liked it. It was fun to me.
It was Nuketown. It was the same thing.
No, it wasn't. It was completely different vibe. Trust me.
Yeah.
There was so many more aspects. Like you cannot call that a remaster. That was totally a reimagine.
Yeah, that was so reimagined.
Well, I mean, like Nuketown itself, but even in like Nuketown as a thing in Call of Duty, right? Its own phenomenon. It's always supposed to be a very close quarters map. By like you're like bumping elbows with your enemies. You know what I mean? Alpha Omega is not that at all. Every iteration of we've had it in every other Black Ops, every other Zombies map, whatever, it's always been very close quarters. That's not the same. If they got just 2 greenhouses, no underground lab or anything weird like that, like just train your heart out, you know what I mean? That would be fun to me personally.
Oh no, I liked Alpha Omega a lot.
I think it's another map with missed opportunity.
Yeah, potentially. How do you think about, ever since Zombies launched, it's always had a 4-player limit. How would you ever feel like, for Outbreak, 6 players, more than that? Or do you think 4 players is kind of always the cap? Well, Grief's had 8, but like Zombies has always been 4 players. Do you think it ever make any sense to go past 4, or is it like 4 is kind of like the perfect, keep it there? Even for Outbreak, I think Outbreak would benefit with 6. Get a few more friends there.
I think it's fine with 4.
I mean, because honestly, everyone says 3 is a crowd. If it ever added like additional people, it would be so much like too much. You lose purpose of the map when you've got all these. I don't even like playing with 4 people personally because there's too many different agendas going on.
I don't even like playing with 2.
The max I play solo most of the time.
I mean, 2's the most I'd like playing with.
Solo's kind of where it's at, being honest.
Unless I've known these other 3 people for a while, and I know, because whenever I usually do play with a full team, it's randoms, and that always makes me upset. But I'd rather, at most, I'll do 3, to be honest. I don't know. I also don't got that many friends, but
relatable.
I'll stick with my solo games.
Shut up. Your solo games take more time, dude. Trust, because you keep dying.
Yeah, I know. What about the fact that we're getting Mule Kick, not double tap? That's news since the last time. Last time we were talking about in the podcast, we were talking about double tap. I do think we'll get double tap next season. I think
so.
Yeah, because we're probably gonna get 3 more perks, and we're gonna get 1 more map after Berlin. So I think they're gonna fill the void, and they're gonna pop one out in between, probably because I feel like we might get another Outbreak Easter egg. I feel like it's probably gonna happen. We're gonna get this map obviously next Thursday.
Yeah.
The next season's gonna happen with pretty much not a lot of zombies content, maybe some more modes and stuff. And probably for mid-season next season, we might get another Outbreak Easter egg because that's easier to make than a full map. And with that Outbreak Easter egg, we might get double tap then. And then the final map
with
will be
Outbreak.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think that's how it's gonna go.
I don't think they'll ever give out another map or another perk with Outbreak, because it wouldn't even have its own perk machine.
It wouldn't be like the perk machine would probably be on the next map, but that's
why they would wait for the release.
Well, then what are they gonna do? They're gonna have 2 new perks, or
there's 2 new perks in the code with like jingles and everything. Like double tap and PhD are pretty like they're ready to they're mostly ready to go. They've got a lot of the stuff ready. You think they're just gonna can one?
I don't think so.
No, I think the way it's gonna go. I think what they'll do is, I mean, that's a good idea with Outbreak, but I don't think they'll release a perk with that. I think that they'll do Mule Kick with this map, and then to bridge the gap between this map and the next map, they'll do an Outbreak Easter egg. Because I think they're using Outbreak as a, like a prequel, like knitting together sort of thing, and then Double Tap will come out with the next map. And then they'll do yes, exactly. And then
Double Tap.
When Chronicles 2 comes out, that's when PhD will come out with those.
I don't know. People are pretty dead set on Chronicles 2.
That would totally make sense.
I'm not feeling
that
it.
Would totally make, I feel
like I want Chronicles, but I think it's more people hoping. I think that's hopeful wishing. Like I think the odds of us actually getting it are probably like less than 20%.
Like 15% probably at most.
I think Chronicles might be a paid thing also.
I don't think so. I'm
cool with that.
I think they're dead set on no more paid DLC. I think we're done.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
You think they're done with paid DLC?
I wouldn't mind paying for it, but I think they're done.
We don't pay for it now.
I don't. I thought you just said you didn't like. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I remember we had this talk last time. You wish, as an old school gamer, he said he wishes that they stopped giving away free.
Well, I've had time to think about this actually, and the reason I think that it was better, the season pass system in the past, is because it kind of forced them to make maps in a timely manner.
Yeah, but I think this is a very cold
and then wait 6 months because it's free now. Yeah.
Take Modern Warfare for example, right? Modern Warfare was dishing out content every other week. You know what I mean? Modern Warfare was jam packed full of stuff all the time. Like there was never because it was just multiplayer, right? They're always issuing out new maps. I think Modern Warfare has way more maps than we've seen in most other CODs. But this one in particular, I think due to the whole them having to pick up another studio's game, COVID, you name it. This is a very, very Cold War specific thing. Y'all didn't hear that, right?
The hell was that?
No, I didn't hear that.
somebody let the toilet seat drop, but whatever. I think that next time around, they're going to be way more prepared. They're going to be on their toes. They're going to make sure that they have actual content available. But this time they didn't drop the ball, but the ball was, maybe fumbling.
Also, Warzone's messing with everything too.
Here's one thing:
operators and not crews.
I think Modern Warfare is still doing that though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Unfortunately,
one thing you kind of don't understand, I don't mind paying for maps, but it's pretty detrimental. The fact that the entire community's one and it's not split up, especially when it comes to zombies. Prior, when you're playing it and other people were playing it, the amount of division in there, because most people wouldn't get all the maps and stuff like that, and being able to have everyone in one general server queue period is huge, especially for the content and the longevity of the game.
I think they've realized that there's a switch in what they're prioritizing now. Before they would prioritize the amount of money made in a game's life cycle, but now they're prioritizing just longevity and I guess player base of a certain game. That's why I think that they've made cross-platform. I think that's why they've implemented it being free, because now they understand that we want people to enjoy these games. That's why I know a lot of people who still play Modern Warfare now, S&D. They're understanding that if we keep paying for everyone, they're gonna split everything, and we want it to be as cohesive as possible so people continue to play our games regardless. I mean, they're gonna make money regardless, but I think they understand that they don't want to just pull up numbers for whoever their what are those things called? The people who they're shareholders, right?
Shareholders.
They don't want to have numbers for shareholders of a certain game. They want to have like, look, these are like data. This is how many players are still playing.
Well, there's a
games.
reason for that. The more players you have, the more bundles you sell. The bigger the player base, the more no, that's 100% it. And if you start releasing paid maps, you break up the player base and you sell less bundles. They would make less if they were to release this map and sell it for $20. I guarantee you they'd make less money this month than what they would if it was free. They've realized that the bigger your player base is, the more you can sell bundles, and one bundle's as much as a map pack. And like one person will buy 4 or 5 of those this season. That's 4 or 5 DLCs sold to that one person. Now, not everyone buys them, but I mean, you have people who are buying tons of them, making up for it more than hand and foot.
I mean, when you put it that way, that makes sense.
I think they can still put out trash maps.
Care
also
about longevity.
They can still put out
trash maps. You don't think so? I mean, longevity is
for a year.
Once they put out this new game, they're going to be like Cold War who?
Well, they're still gonna. I mean, I think Black Ops 4 still gets like constant playlist updates and like constant things for the new game modes switching out.
But
I think they're going to even Modern Warfare does too. Like within the studio themselves, until that studio has time to work on their next game, then I think they're gonna be like, okay, look, now we have to dial it back with the content. But they're gonna be stretching these games out, especially with the integration of Warzone.
I don't think so.
They're gonna be dialing these games out for a while.
From what it sounds like, Treyarch's going to be helping with the World War II zombies. So I feel like as soon as that comes out, it's like, all right, well, we've done what we were doing here. Let's now move on to the second part of this. And they're going to see, like, because from what it looks like, they're going to have a heavy hand in the World War II zombies. So why would they still be supporting, updating, Cold War?
Yeah, they won't.
If they've got a big foot in making Vanguard and they're, like, trying to overhaul that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because they're not going to be updating every new content. They're not going to add new weapons. They're not going to add new like things. I think like little things like, I don't know, maybe giving an occasional free bundle or changing the playlist for multiplayer. You know what I mean? Just keeping like
you can do playlists. You can do that automatically. You can have set that to run on its own. You could just be like this month.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I think they're making a switch from
that's what they're doing with Black Ops 4.
Life cycle to longevity.
They don't do anything with that. They probably have it set on an auto rotation that just does itself, and it'll do that forever.
even still though, Strat couldn't necessarily be working on Black Ops 4 now, updating them. Even if they had something that set it up to where they constantly rotate, I think that still shows their switch in interest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But moving on to the Vanguard topic, do you think if Vanguard pretty much copies Cold War exactly, that it'd be successful?
No.
How?
Like, this is the first zombie we've seen with upgradable perks, We've seen field upgrades before in zombies, but not quite like they work in this game. This game's it was actually kind of close to World War II, but this one's, I think, a little bit more in-depth than World War II was. The fact that you can have a class and spawn with any weapon, once again, something we kind of saw in World War II. You're able to spawn in with, more AR-type weapons. But, like, if they had the class system like Cold War, they had the upgradable perks, they had the operators. Like, if it was essentially Cold War, like World War II style, where it's something happens at the end. Like, what if they continue the story? Like, the final boss fight happens, the Maxis X happens, all of a sudden, big explosion, go back in time. Now they're in World War II. And it's like, all right, now we've got these 8 new perks. You've got to upgrade them with crystals again. You got to do this again. And it's essentially,
I can see that happening.
But I'm saying, because right now, like, as much as people dog on Cold War, this is one of the most successful zombie games in terms of player count, in terms of just 100%. Replayability. No matter how much you want to be like, oh, there's no content in this game, people are playing this game more than what they have previously. Do you think Vanguard will have that same retention if they take the same core fundamentals Cold War has? Not necessarily gameplay wise, but mechanically wise, like with how like the salvage works, how all of that works. If it was almost a World War II skin on the Cold War mechanics, do you think that would be as successful as Cold War? Maybe they could even have a World War II outbreak.
I don't even think it would make sense, honestly.
Well, they already said that they're bringing Treyarch's perks into that game.
That's fine. I don't want them to copy this. I want them, like, the thing is, I want them to be a skin. I don't want to be like, here's Juggernog, here's PhD.
Well,
I want it to be like
this.
Make it different. Like, this is THD. These are.
I mean, people are still gonna call it Jug. You know what I mean? Like, I think the perk machines aren't gonna be the same. I think everything's gonna have its own vibe to it, but it's gonna essentially
name
they already
different.
confirmed that though.
I mean, just like, you know how when you went from Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3 to Black Ops 4, you had the Gobblegums, and now instead of the Gobblegums, you've got the Elixirs. Instead of this, like, it was just renaming. Instead of Liquid Divinium, you've got Plasma Nivonium, or like
Newton's Plasma,
Nudie Platium something. I don't know.
Something wild.
Like, just do something like that where it's the same core fundamentals. Like, it's the same perk. Top and bottom, same perk, nothing new here, but instead of called like Juggernog, it's like Big Nogs or something like that, or like.
Well, I think it also still makes sense, right? The perks came out during the era of like, I think Verrect was first with perks. Verrect is based around World War II, I guess. Yep. So it's like these names essentially have like, I guess, history in the time frames and in like, you know, in the games. So if they switched it over and called it Toughen Up, no one's. I mean, it's not gonna be like. Everyone's still gonna call it Jug. I need to get Jug.
Who cares? I still called it like in Black Ops 4. I still called it all. Like called it Liquid Divinium. Like,
well, see what I'm saying? I personally wouldn't care if they added in the same perks, but if they added in the same perk machines, perk jingles, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
like,
it needs.
Like, you cannot just.
They already said they're doing this.
They said they're bringing in the perk machines.
I don't think that's confirmed. They haven't.
I mean, if they're bringing back the same perks, then I don't see why
nothing's confirmed on that. They haven't even confirmed that Treyarch's working with them.
I don't even know.
I've been hearing that like literally all over the place.
But... Yeah, but
that's my first time
speculation.
Yeah, everything's speculation till it's released. Like we
don't even know if it's officially called Vanguard. They could switch it up on us.
No, it's. I think Is it?
They could literally switch it up at any moment if they really wanted to.
Well, I think that's the working name, but right now they've got listings on PS4 called Vanguard. Like they've actually got the game listed on
like
PS4.
The code name.
They always have a code name though for it.
Yeah. Well, who knows? So, it could be World War II.
We don't even know if it's called Vanguard
Part 2 or World War II 3 or.
World War II. They should just call it World War 3. I think they should.
World War II 2.
Oh my God.
That's in the future.
But
I don't think it would work for about the bringing in operators and spawnable classes. I personally don't think that they would.
I hope not.
It wouldn't make sense for it to be World War II, right? Because the military is like, think about World War II as a time frame. The military is not what it was in the 80s, right? Like there was a huge drastic change in those couple of years, right? In those few decades or whatever.
40 years.
It's like imagine if you like it also wouldn't make the only reason why I think now it works in Cold War is because of the fact that we're a military group who's going in and taking care of these zombies. Imagine if we didn't have weapons going into that. Like, why would you only have an M1911 as a military assassin?
I don't think they care about realism. It's zombies. Like, think about it.
But they still they want to be consistent, right? It wouldn't even make sense for a World War II just a single soldier to spawn in with I think it would make sense for them to be like actual characters, and then like we have this M1911, now we have to upgrade our weapons and such. But for them to have like, I don't know, like Requiem, they spawn, they're literally coming from their base, so why would they bring nothing with them? You know what I mean? They have to have.
I mean, in World War II, you were able to spawn in with like AR. It wasn't the full arsenal, but you could there was ARs that you could spawn in with World War II. There were shotguns, like
loadout.
Yeah, World War II, you had a loadout, and it was more than pistols. Like there was a lot of ARs you could choose, shotguns. I think SMGs you could choose too. I think snipers as well. You couldn't choose everything, but you could choose a wide variety of weapons. It wasn't like you'd spawn in with the M1911. It was already pretty hardcore with what you could do. It was closer to what this game is than what it was to normal traditional zombie games.
Well, it's the same thing with World War II. I think the players or the crew that was in World War II, they weren't like just spontaneously on the map like you find yourself.
Well, who says they have to be spontaneously?
Well, then what about Black Ops 4?
What do you mean?
Because Black Ops 4 also had like the loadout thing where you could go in with like
well in game for life.
It only was secondaries though. You only had like 6 starting weapons. They weren't. It was still things that like would make sense in the storyline. Say like Voyage of Despair, right? All the crew, the whole Chaos crew.
Was that one SMG a secondary?
Yeah, it was the MOG. It was only secondaries. Actually.
Are you sure? What was that one automatic thing? I thought that was an SMG.
The escargot?
No, there was one full auto one. That was
the
SOG. Yeah.
I think even still that was like
the SOG.
I guess they only included that one because it was like a machine pistol.
I think it was an SMG. The SOG was a primary there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
And maybe if it's not secondaries, then it's still like, you know.
Doesn't matter. I proved my point. Continue on.
Okay. But the Chaos Crew, right? They're on this boat and they're doing like they're just trying to collect some artifact from this certain spot on the boat. So they have to be concise and they have to kind of like sneak their way in. So they can't just come in with these giant M16s or whatever it is on the boat. So they had to literally have all those weapons that you could spawn in with kind of conceal, right? You can kind of hide them on a boat. You can't really hide an AR. There's
Car 98s, bro. There was like, what? How do you?
Not in. What do you mean?
I'm talking about World War II. I kind of zoned off. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm talking in Chaos.
I'm talking about
Voyage of Despair. Even like no matter what the maps were
on
right?
the Titanic.
All of the maps all make sense to why you have a certain weapon. And
I mean,
why
we're
you
talking
can't
about
just
with
spawn
wonder
in
weapons, with magic, and like I don't think it matters what you spawn.
Well,
I think you're reading too far into it.
That's the change. Like the change is that's why you have the box. That's why you have pack-a-punches because of the magic and all this other stuff. But if you're taking players or crews and dropping them into an area, they have to kind of survive and build up their progression, right? But if you take a military group, that's why the progression system changed in Cold War, is because they couldn't just have these, like, why would you want an operator to go over to a certain place, do some things, close this portal down with no weapons? That does not make sense at all. If we're Requiem, you do not send troops over with an M1911 in hand and say,
I spawned in with M1911. Get two of those bad boys, you can wreck some ham up with that.
Yeah, but they would like if it was like a Black Ops 3
I spawned with a melee weapon, bro. What do you mean?
Like,
I
bro, that
with just a
go
knife.
crazy, bro.
That would still be so like weird. You know what I mean?
Spawning in with a tool, who would give him a shovel? Like, you know, like, yo, I need to go take care of this portal. Here's a shovel.
Kravchenko would.
Here's a baseball bat. Have some fun.
Does that make sense though?
Kinda, but I don't know. I think it doesn't. Like, I've never thought that far into it, and I think it's just better to have fun with it. If you start, like, looking at, like, this doesn't make sense or that doesn't make sense, like, I feel like it kind of takes away some of the fun. Like, I just want to have fun. I want to have enjoyable gameplay. I want to go in. I want to have some fun. I want to kill some zombies. I want to have...
play to play, bro.
Play to play.
Yeah, if you look at it that way, then no video game makes sense because none of them are real.
And, I mean, it doesn't make sense already because there's not even max sex in the game. So it's like, how is that realistic?
I'm not saying, like, realism for the real world, realistic? But you know when people say stuff like somebody said something about the ice shake, right? They were like, it's not realistic for your gun to have this glowing camo on the game, but it's like realistic in terms of game logic, right? That would be a thing that would like game not logic. Talking realism in terms of the world. But in game logic, there's certain things that still wouldn't make sense. Like if they had jetpacks in Cold War, even for game logic, that wouldn't make sense, right? But obviously in real time, they did not. I mean,
it's a story. You can write in whatever you want. You could be like, "Yo, from the future, there was this I don't know, some sort of portal that Requiem created in the year, like, and they sent back jetpacks to get ahead." Like right. In game logic,
they can write the story however they want.
You can write in whatever you want in game logic. When it's game logic, you can make it like you can. It only makes sense once you write it to make sense, but you can write just about anything to make sense.
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
The Orda Max's fanfic.
I mean,
that can happen if they wanted
doesn't
to.
Make sense. Orda doesn't make sense.
No, but there's certain things in those that make sense, right? Like there were certain things.
I get what you're saying. You want logical progression.
No. Like let's say that they brought back the parasites from Shadows of Evil. It wouldn't make sense in game logic, even though they can write them in if they want to. It still wouldn't make sense because like we're like, look, Dark Aether's or Aether story is supposed to be closed, right? They can't just have these like if they're gonna leak out, it has to be something different in the Cold War era, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
What about Panzers?
Like there's certain things that just wouldn't make sense.
What about the Panzers? How'd they come over?
Oh, I mean they're different, right? Completely. They're
the Panzers.
They're the ones that were sent to the Dark. I mean, the Dark Aether is essentially leaking into the real world. That's why we have the things we do. I guess the parasites is a bad example.
What about the dogs?
Why there's Panzers?
What about the zombies themselves?
That's what I'm literally saying.
Panzers because Omega sent those into the Dark Aether, like people in those suits, and then they morphed while they were in there and turned into zombies.
Can't they send bugs in there?
Yeah, that was part of the intel.
With all the zombies?
Yeah. Because they were sending Omega was sending people into the Dark Aether to mine the crystals.
What about the Manglers though? Those are pretty much the exact ones you saw on DE, not DE on.
Yeah, they were also Omega people.
Yeah, but can't they just send bugs in and then the bugs turn into like flying like dragonflies?
Yeah, but all I'm saying is
Peck was in charge
even
of it,
fit
and he's
the
not
map.
exactly smart.
True.
Or caring.
Who's Peck?
Dude doesn't even have an eye at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not even gonna explain to you who Peck is if you don't care that much to know who Peck is.
Peck is the guy that was hotboxing on FIREBASE-Z.
He's the hotbox dude. I know who that is.
Yeah.
See, that's all you had to
Martha.
say.
You remember Martha?
I don't remember Martha.
I don't know
think
Martha
he did either. He was trying to. He's like, "What's up, Martha?"
Yeah, it's with you, Martha.
He's like, "Martha."
I let him dance for hours.
So he's like,
pretty much.
Oh, Martha, I love this
Best Easter egg ever.
FIREBASE-Z?
I like how shocked you
You're
looked.
lying.
I was kidding.
Okay,
Better be kidding, bro. They even dissed FIREBASE-Z in the patch notes earlier today. They said that this time they said something along the lines of, trust us, this map is gonna be worth the wait this time.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I don't really remember waiting for
That's
FIREBASE-Z.
hilarious.
It was like, yeah, and trust us, this one's gonna be worth the wait. Something that was like a dig on FIREBASE-Z. Like, yeah, we know we kind of dropped the ball on that one, but this one, bear with us. This one will actually be good. Even
I didn't get a chance to read the patch notes today.
Y'all, only if you knew someone
Do
who
you
made a
guys think
video.
Eddie's gonna show up in this map?
I think at the very end. I think it'll be the last, like, it'll be their big reveal after you do the cutscene.
Yeah.
Like, the Mantis sex will happen, and then after that, Eddie pops out, like...
He's like,
I don't think we're gonna hear anything about Maxis or Ravenov in this
He's
map.
recorded.
Either? You don't think about either?
I think we'll hear something in intel that we find around the map, but we're not going to see them or anything.
I think it'll be the last second of to get you hyped for the final map, because it's going to be like, they want something big.
Some callback
if we do, it will be.
Yeah, it'll be like, whoa, something big, and it's going to be like, this is Eddie. Make sure to tune in 5 months from now with the next map coming out.
I don't think that's what he'll say, but...
Oh, yeah, he's not going to say it. He's not going to look at the camera. Eddie's not going to look at the camera. Make sure to tune in 5 months for the next DLC 5 map.
He's like, hey, be sure to tune in for DLC 5. And he's like, all right, guys, I'm out.
Also, this Easter egg was lit, right?
For no reason.
This Easter egg was lit.
He's like, yeah, did you guys like that?
You see that Maxis sex back there, bro?
I'll catch you guys later.
What
Bye.
do you see what we did? Yeah.
Like a full YouTube outro.
Go back into his portal.
All right, guys, that was Mauer der Toten. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. He's like,
yes.
Be sure to subscribe to our content. We've got a lot of stuff over on Treyarch's Twitter. All right, peace, y'all. 9 or something. Run the bar. He's like, he's gone.
That would be the funniest thing ever. That would be the best. And you know how much hype would be around the community if that's how it ended, because of how unexpected. That would be hilarious. I would be laughing the entire time. Eddie just comes out and explains everything, like breaks. Oh, I want that now. That will never happen, but that'd be freaking hilarious.
But that would be one of those game logic things, you know?
Oh my god, back to the game logic, bro.
No, I'm being serious. Like, game logic is a thing, because I'll hear a lot of people always say stuff like, that's not real. Like, it's not realistic to respawn, but it makes sense in the game. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like, you can make anything make sense for game logic. Like, it makes sense when it makes sense.
All I'm saying is, I don't want people to say like,
never heard of TV magic. Same thing with video games.
I'm just saying, I don't want people to say like, that's not realistic. Like, you know, Cold War didn't have that, but it's like in this universe, it makes sense. Like, because people say that all the time. They just say Call of Duty is not realistic or whatever it is. And I don't like that. I'm a fan that they're not going for realism. I'm personally big on the fact that they just go for whatever else.
Yeah, I always think fun should come first.
Yeah,
same thing. I think the map should be built first.
Yeah, I wouldn't be attracted to
and then
this
the
game
storyline. Map first, then storyline built after the map. Like I feel like they've changed with that. I feel like maps used to be built the map first, then storyline after, and now it's kind of switched. It's storyline, and they build the map around the storyline. And I think you get less fun maps.
As it should be.
No, because I think gameplay should come first. I always think enjoyment and gameplay should come first, because that's how you get maps that are fun to do the Easter egg, but then you never play them again, and you lose the replayability factor. I would always prefer a map that I would like to play over and over again that's got a very crappy story and doesn't fit in the storyline, than a map that's got an amazing storyline that's not fun to play after you beat the story.
Black Ops 4 as a whole.
I think this will be fun.
he just completely.
It's hard to. If you build the map around the story, I feel like the map takes a pretty detrimental toll in terms of replayability.
That's not true. That's not true.
Lego, I thought you
all
liked
of Black Ops
1
3
story.
I did like Black Ops 1 story, but
really
because it was secondary. That's because it was secondary. It wasn't the main stage. The story was more nuanced.
All of those maps were fun to play too.
Yeah, but because they didn't focus on the story. They focused on the map, and it felt like they built the story around the map because it wasn't as cohesive.
I like Black Ops 3's story and the maps. The maps were actually, fun fact, built around the story.
Yeah, dude, Darius was
the greatest
lit.
Call of Duty and zombies we've ever seen. Yep. That was the greatest zombies experience we've ever gotten, and they built that completely around the story. They did not take map and then add story to it, which is what they did in all of the older CODs because of the fact they didn't have new assets. They didn't have a team really working on zombies like that until later in the CODs, you know? They didn't realize how much traction they were holding with zombies. So yeah.
Right.
It had Darius. It had that going for it.
Huh?
It had Darius. That was pretty good on that, man. It had Varrock too. Moon was pretty good for Black Ops 3.
Weren't these all like reskins of a campaign or not campaign, but of like a campaign or the Moon was the first map that I love Moon personally, but that was the first map they built around story.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't remember.
None of the other maps were built around story.
Part of the campaign. I'm pretty sure Shangri-La was part of the
campaign.
Shangri-La, I think, was part of one of the jungle missions.
Yeah.
At least a bunch of assets from it. They might have added in the temple and stuff and the traps, but I feel like the generic the mud assets, the tree assets.
I know Ascension was.
Oh yeah, Ascension was it was launched. That one was easy. You can tell because the giant rocket.
Definitely.
The Darius was built off a multiplayer map, and you could tell as soon as you played it if you played multiplayer, like, oh, this is that map. I mean, Varrock was a multiplayer map. Noct was a very small portion of a giant multiplayer map, one of the biggest maps in World at War. That's where they got Nocturne and Toten out of. It's just a very small section of it. But I mean, they deleted the rest. Like, that map was like huge with a bunch of airfields, and when they redid the map, they completely redid the outside. Like, it looks not like, yeah, the core buildings feel kind of the same, but even those it's all been reworked with that. And then Darius was a campaign mission. Was it Darius?
I never played those campaigns.
I don't really remember Darius. I think it was from but they were all from that.
Never played any campaign before.
So
ever, never completed a single Call of Duty campaign in my life.
World of War is probably the best one.
They even ripped the characters from the campaign in World War II or World at War II because Richtofen was some random character during the campaign, like the skin of him.
Yep,
he didn't have the same name. Yeah,
that's cool.
But I mean, that's, in my opinion, one of the best ones there. Because like, I feel like back then is when they focused on gameplay first, story second.
Those maps suck, bro.
I love those maps.
Lev, you can agree with me on that.
I disagree.
I don't even like Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2. I mean, Black Ops 2, I like.
Black Ops 2 is decent.
Yeah, Black Ops 1 and World at War.
Black Ops 2 is what made me stop playing.
I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate everything they've done for what we have now, but I do not care for them like that at all. And that's because I don't have the nostalgia. I think you guys are speaking from nostalgia if you ask me.
I don't think it's nostalgia because the thing is I'll play a map till I get bored of it, and those maps I was able to play. Not so much. World at War I kind of got bored with fairly quickly, but Black Ops 1 had a ton of replayability. Black Ops 2 not as much, but it still had some.
They're the same thing though. Like, on paper, they're the same thing.
No,
just
they're not.
Different maps.
It really comes down to how you turn on. To me, there's a few things that make a map replayable. Power's huge. Power and Pack-a-Punch are some of the two biggest things. And if it's annoying to do Power and Pack-a-Punch, I think the replayability of a map goes down a lot.
Like Firebase.
Like Firebase-Z. I don't think Firebase-Z is that replayable because of how you turn on Power. That, to me, is kind of a nuisance.
I hate that.
And I just don't want to do it. And that makes the map not... Shadows of Evil, I did it once. I only ever played Shadows do the Easter egg. The rituals made that map unplayable to me. It just wasn't fun. I didn't want to do the rituals.
How do you turn Power on in Call of the Dead? Or how do you turn Pack-a-Punch on?
In Call of the Dead, all you did was turn on Power, and Call of the Dead, it was ready to go. It was always on.
Pack-a-Punch everything too? Where's Pack-a-Punch though?
Yeah. Same thing with the Black Ops 4 map the other day. It moved around.
Pack-a-Punch is...
You flipped the switch and it was on. Yeah, it moved around, but it was always there.
Oh, that's right, it did.
All you did was flip on a switch and it had three different locations.
It was under the ship, or it was in the pond,
and that was it. It was a flip of a switch.
I don't know how you guys can just what's another map? Do you guys other than Call of Duty? I know that's your favorite. Like Darius, your second favorite. All the
Black Ops 1. Yeah, Darius. All you do is flip a switch. 5. I love 5 too. I mean, Power was nice.
I love 5.
See, I don't mind it being hard. I just don't want it to be annoying. Like, there's certain things. If it's time based, it's just annoying. Like the rituals. Like, oh, let me go in here and let me train around for 30 seconds. Like, I should have already been done. I should have been packed at this point. Why am I doing here training around zombies, waiting for Time gates. Time gates are the most annoying thing ever, and it will ruin a map for me. Like, no joke. Power and Pack-a-Punch are the two main things for replayability for me, and it will hands down ruin a map. It ruins Shadows. I love the way Shadows looks, but I will never play that map other than do the Easter egg, because to me it's got 0 replayability.
I think Shadows has the most replayability out of anything.
I did it twice to do the Easter, like 3 or 4 times the Easter egg, and I could not play it.
I love Shadows of Evil, and I love Drak. Drak is power and play or whatever. They're both relatively easy, right? But like getting set up as a whole, right? You want to get a bow. You want to get your perks and stuff set up and all that other stuff. I think Drak is like the pinnacle of zombies.
Drak, yeah, I think that was the best Black Ops 3 map because it was very, like I said, it wasn't annoying. I don't mind it taking long. I just don't want it to be annoying. And when it's like not hard and if it's easy and takes a lot of time, that's what gets tedious and annoying. And Drak wasn't that. Drak was very straight to the point, and that to me is one of the best Black Ops 3 maps because it had replayability to it.
I love playing Shadows though. Shadows is one of the hardest ways to get Pack-a-Punch, I think, in all of zombies.
It's the easiest. I think it's one of the easiest but most annoying. I'm talking
about like just longest, right? It's the longest, most time-consuming Pack-a-Punch.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing. Like it's the easiest and the most time-consuming. I'd rather have it hard and short. I like hard and short, not long and soft.
Oh, same.
What? Oh. Okay. But I still, what I was going to say is I still love Shadows as my second map in Black Ops 3. I'm not going to say ever, but in Black Ops 3, it's definitely still whatever, you know?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's one of the most beautiful maps we've ever gotten. Like,
what about
I love the
Blood
atmosphere.
of the Dead? That's flip a switch and go hit the shield on.
I like Blood of the Dead.
I'm sorry, what?
The switch is exactly what we need.
I like Blood of the Dead because it was replayable. I honestly like that map because it to me that was one of the better Black Ops 4 maps because it was to me a lot of what makes a good map is how replayable it is, and I felt like that map was one of the most replayable.
For what?
Black Ops 4 wise, yeah, I can agree.
Black Ops 4 wise, I mean, I don't think it hold up.
Blood of the Dead.
Yeah, if you compare it to maps in other games, it wouldn't hold up. But for Black Ops 4 standards, I think
even still, I'd literally play 9, of course. I'd play Alpha Omega over that. I'd play. What was the last map? I'd play Tag over that. I'd play Voyage over that. Honestly, Voyage and Blood are the worst two in my opinion. But I
wouldn't play Voyage. Voyage was just even after playing hours and hours on that map. That is the one map. And this to me is
I play Classified.
It's not even that. It's just maps need to be fluid. And I put so many hours in Voyage getting that Easter egg done. I still get so lost when in that ship. Like I'm pretty good about getting my map layout down, but Voyage was just so unintuitive in terms of letting you know where you're at, where you need to go, because all the layers and there wasn't like any sort of coordination with it, and they all intermingled. And it's just like I need to get here for this step. I don't know if I need to go. Like I hated it. I hated how just clustered that map was, and it's not even a bad thing. I think having layers is good, but they could have done a way better job of, and that would have made that map 1,000 times better.
Opportunity in zombies.
Yeah, dude, think about that.
Yeah, I think Voyage had such good potential.
If you would have told me in Black Ops 3 that they're gonna have a Titanic map, I would have been like, "Are you kidding me?"
I was so pumped for that.
That's gonna be the coolest. That's like 5, bro. Like a Titanic map. That's gonna be so cool. Zombies.
Yeah, you didn't even hit an iceberg in the Easter egg. You know, like if it was in the Easter egg. Like that's the final thing.
I thought it hit it right at the beginning.
No,
when you spawn in,
the boat is just creaking a lot, and you're still moving.
Why is
there
ice all over the ship?
You're not sinking though. You know what I mean? Like the boat doesn't sink at any time, place.
I mean, the bottom is flooded.
I think they hit like I don't know something or the zombies.
Something happened.
It's the artifact. That's what it was. That's what caused everything to happen. That's why all the fire is there and all the chaos literally is on the map.
Jeez.
That's the only reason why we have like water in the underground levels was because of the artifact.
Yeah, because you can pump it out.
Yep. I think that's the biggest missed opportunity for a map we've ever seen. I think Voyage of Despair was the biggest missed opportunity, period. Like, I don't think it was going to be bigger than him.
Way over Transit. Transit, everyone says it has a lot of potential, but like... What
for the
really
hardware,
more could they have done other than just fix the map?
The issue was with the hardware it was on, it didn't have potential. It was too. Transit was too big of an idea for its time. Transit, if they were doing it now, would have been great. But it's like you couldn't even fix Transit back then. There's nothing they could have done. Right. It wasn't even a missed opportunity. It was just they thought they had too big of a wide scale for what was possible at the time. Doing it smaller scale would have been way better.
It'd be a better remaster. It'd be the best remaster.
It'd be an amazing remaster.
I think I'd be the most excited for that.
Way too big of an idea for the engine it was developed on.
Well, okay, actually, I take that back because they had Origins literally in the same. I mean, Origins isn't as big. Don't get me. Well, I don't know. Do you guys know if
Origins is way smaller. Origins is way smaller.
Way smaller.
Way smaller.
Origin is definitely smaller.
I don't think I understand how
think about
big
all of that
Transit is.
space in between all of the maps.
Transit
that you have to ride the bus to. Like,
no,
that's
you gotta.
huge.
That's true. That's true.
And there's so many moving parts on Transit, and they were trying to go this craftable way, and they're trying to do all this other stuff, and they were trying to be like.
The worst thing was the mechanics of the game.
Denizens. The fog and Denizens. God,
Yeah.
And the thing is, Transit's an easy fix. Transit is an easy fix. Looking back at it now, Transit would be an amazing map if all they did, one, remove the fog, remove the denizens, make a teleporter that allows you to go from one area. You can go from bus depot to diner, from diner to farm. No, not if it was a linear path. It would still be a zombies map with a linear path around. And you could do like Easter egg steps out in the middle of nowhere with the fog, but at least the main areas of the map, there needs to be a simplistic way instead of like, all right, I missed the bus. Let me just go in the smoke and knife denizens for like 5 minutes on my way to the next area. Oh, the generator broke. Let me go back and get that so I can open up pack again. Another 5 minutes. Like,
yeah. Like, someone just told me that Origins is actually about 1/3 of the size of Transit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With so much more content.
316 knocks and Origins is 102 knocks.
Perfect.
So,
but yeah, it's
I still
simple
think
fix.
that, I mean, the mechanics, right? I don't even think it had anything to do with the hardware limitations. I think it's just the mechanics. That's why I don't even like Black Ops 2. Origins is my like second favorite map of all time, but the Black Ops 3 version.
Buried, bro. Buried was the goated Black Ops 2 maps.
I do not like Black Ops 3's engine at all, or Black Ops 2's engine. It's slow. It doesn't feel as refined as we have now.
The engine gets better as you go. But that's the thing is, you can't, when I compare maps, I consider the mechanics of the game itself in terms of how things are done, in terms of class setup and perks. I don't factor in the clunkiness of the mechanics because every single year it's gotten better. They've never gotten worse in terms of how the fluidity of movement goes. So
Modern Warfare's movement is better than Cold War.
I don't think so. I didn't like
Warfare has a better movement than I think all games right now.
Well, I was talking Cold War. I was mainly talking Treyarch Zombies. I wasn't talking, but I don't agree. I think Modern Warfare is one of the worst we've got. I thought Black Ops 4 movement system was better than friggin'
Black Ops 3 has the best Treyarch movement, but Black Ops 4 sucks.
I agree.
I'd have to play them back to back.
They always go up and down, to be honest. But
I think
now with Warzone, they're gonna be consistent with it. You're gonna always have sliding now.
I think Cold War is the best, like, just general movement system we've probably ever had in a COD, besides maybe Infinite Warfare.
I like Black Ops 3
I love the engine Cold War's on.
Yeah, Cold War I think is the best engine in terms of like, and that's why I wish Warzone would have swapped to it, because Warzone, one thing stopping me from playing it is how clunky that engine is. It's just clunky.
You don't like Modern Warfare?
Yeah, I hate that.
I think it was clunky engine. Big step down from their previous game. From Infinite Warfare, they went from Infinite Warfare, one of the best movement systems ever, to this clunky mess.
Was Infinite Warfare 2018?
It was the last Infinite Warfare game before Modern Warfare was, I think it was like 2018, because 2019 would have been 2019 would have been World War II, and then 2020 would have been Black Ops 4.
What are you talking about?
No, it would have been 2017.
No. Infinite Warfare was 2018.
Well, no, it couldn't. Yes. Think about it this, because if it was 2018, then 2019 would have...
says 2016.
Infinite Warfare?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because Black Ops 4 came out in 2015, so unless it came out
a while ago.
Oh, no, Black Ops 4 was 2018. My bad. Black Ops 4 was 2018.
2019.
Yeah. 2017 was World War II.
Oh, yeah, 2019.
And then 2016 was Infinite Warfare. Because I'm thinking like, Modern Warfare, literally in the title, it's Modern Warfare 2019. That's a fact. So I knew that was 2019 regardless.
It's actually just called Warzone now.
It's when the game is launched, dude, not when the game's life cycle bleeds over into. You may have been playing Modern Warfare for most of 2020, but, you know,
I wasn't even playing it in 2019.
Yeah.
I played that trash for the first month and I gave up on that game. That was Modern Warfare is the quickest I've ever dropped a COD before.
I love the multiplayer for it, though. I'm a huge zombies player.
Me too,
I love zombies more
I
than
think
anything.
Modern Warfare's had the least amount of content we've ever seen in a Call of Duty. It had no content at launch.
the least amount of content.
1,000%.
It has way more content than Cold War, and we have zombies.
Cold War had more at launch than what Modern Warfare had at its final state. It has more than what Modern Warfare has now at launch. Modern Warfare did not have, didn't have Dark Ops. It had one mastery camo. Its side mode didn't have much of any content.
You're talking
didn't have reticle unlocks. Didn't have normal challenges like calling card. It had those ones those one things, but it didn't have a whole set. They didn't have 100% like set of calling card unlocks.
They have a whole slew of things in the barracks.
They do now. They do now. That wasn't added till like 6 months later.
They had Spec Ops too, though.
That wasn't added till many months later.
You said in the current state of Modern Warfare, we had more.
It still doesn't have Dark Ops. It still doesn't have Dark Ops.
We had 4 maps of Cold War. We had a bunch of challenges. Yeah, sure. But if that's what your main focus is, then you can say that.
Modern Warfare at launch had no good maps. It didn't have a good map till Shoot House got added.
To shipment, honestly.
No, Shoot House and then shipment. In my opinion,
I don't even like Shoot House, honestly.
Yeah, Modern Warfare still has 1 or 2 maps. Cold War launched with more maps than what Modern Warfare has now. Like Modern Warfare has it's got a ton of maps, but there's like 2 playable ones. Cold War launched with 4 playable maps.
About fun maps and
Cold War launched with 4. Modern Warfare has 2 at this current time. Double the maps at launch than what Modern Warfare got its entire life cycle.
I don't play Shoot House anymore either. Shoot House is only good for long shots, but even still,
I think it's a good map. I think Shoot House and Shipment were the only 2 playable maps in the entire game.
Shipment's the best map in Call of Duty history. Fun fact.
It is. But Cold War launched with 4 playable maps, where Modern Warfare's entire life cycle had 2. That's double the maps at launch than the entire game set. I think Cold War's got like 7 or 8 playable maps now. They've added good ones. Like Cold War in terms of maps is like tenfold what Modern Warfare is.
I don't even remember. I haven't played anything other than Nuketown or 6v6 since it came out. Honest to God, I don't remember the last time I've queued up for hardcore domination.
Strike is so good.
Yeah, Crossroads Strikes is amazing. Some of the DLC ones they're adding is actually good. Like Cold War, people hate on Cold War, but it's definitely got quality over quantity. Like I said, it's got like 8 good maps. Modern Warfare had a ton of maps, but 2 of them were playable. Why? Like, who cares? Like, you could have thousands of rocks in your house, but why would you want thousands of rocks when you could have 1 computer? Like, I'd take the 1 computer over 1,000 rocks any day. Like, that's the difference. Like, you got thousands of rocks.
Why do you have so many Dwayne The Rock Johnsons at your house, dude?
Dude, don't talk about me and my Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Doesn't matter.
He's got the rock like infatuation over there.
Yeah, we got a lot of rocks here, bro.
I still think that like Cold War. I mean, the maps are cool and all, but I love those small, like, fast-paced maps. I think new Strike map, Hijack sucks. Spawns in that are terrible. It's just not the same. In my
I wasn't a big
opinion.
fan of Hijacked and Black Ops 2. I don't know. I didn't get the rave about it. Black Ops 2 had way better maps, but everyone was like, Hijacked. Like, Hijack's, it's okay for S&D, but
that's where it really shines, in my opinion.
It was a mid-tier map, in my opinion. I think the game had better maps. The game had better maps, and that was everyone rallied behind that one. I'm like, really? This one? This is the one we want to continue bringing on? All right.
I hope Shipment becomes like a Cold War classic, not a Cold War, a Call of Duty classic, like a Nuketown almost, but like across every Call of Duty we get forever. Because Shipment even was in World War II.
Oh shit! It's not coming back.
I don't know, man. I would hope that they just put a bunch of freight cranes on. I want
Dome to come back, dude. Dome was such a such a heavy hitter. Like, there's some good maps that have just been discarded in COD history. Like, if we look back at because we're remastering the same map over and over again because they're fresh in people's mind. But like, if we look back, there were other small maps. There was one that I was playing the other day, and I'm like, bro, this map exists. Why have we not seen this again? I'm trying to remember what it was. But
Black Ops 1 had really good multiplayer maps.
I think you're talking about
Zoo is amazing.
No, other small ones. Other really small ones. There was another really small map that I'm like, dude.
Small ones?
Yeah, like, what happened to this? Like, this was such a fire map.
Wasn't like Satellite was one of them? I think from Black Ops 1.
Satellite was huge in Black Ops 1. Satellite was a lot of Black Ops 1 maps were fairly big. Black Ops 1 didn't have...
Rust. Rust got remastered.
Rust has started coming back a lot, but Dome's pretty nice. Like, what happened to Dome? Why did we just forget about Dome?
I personally think small maps are maps that are only you can see the other corner of the map. You know, when you spawn in, I'm talking like you can see one of the corners. Most other maps aren't like that at all. Like in Shipment, you can see you spawn in, you can see 2 other points that are the very other ends of the map, right? And in Rust, you can do the same thing. No matter depending on which way you look, there's only it's like a square. Nuketown, it's a smaller map, but I wouldn't consider it a small map. If that makes sense. Like, there's still if you want to make it to the other team spawn, you got to travel across like a couple of different lanes, and
it was a World at War map. What was the small World at War map that was kind of like it's almost shipment size, a little bit bigger. It's smaller than Nuketown. It was not Dome. It was it's small. It was like 4 letters. It was outdoors. Oh crap! I'm gonna have to look it up. Shoot. Was it Courtyard? No. Dang it. It was a really small map, and it was one of the best. I think it was Dome. Was it called Dome? Dude, it was. It was actually called Dome.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the official name. I'm gonna try to pull it up for the podcast. But yeah, legitimately, the name of the map was called Dome.
Oh, this map.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's why I couldn't think of the name of it, because I'm trying to call it the Black Ops 3 map. This map was such a good small map, and I'm not sure why we haven't seen something like this back again. Like, I would love a remastered version of this. This is like the OG, well, it's not the OG Shipment, because Shipment came before this. But this is like the OG Dome, or the OG Nuketown. Like, this was Nuketown before Nuketown was Nuketown.
But did they ever bring back a World at War map?
Yeah, they brought back multiple. They brought back Dome. They've brought back, well, no, they've not brought back Dome. I don't know why I said Dome. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Weren't they all like almost like
I don't remember
ground war type maps?
Some of them, but Cliffside came back in Black Ops 1 as a DLC golf course map. I
remember that one, the golf course one. I forgot about
in Black
that.
Ops 3, I think Upheaval came back with exosuits, or not exosuits, like a mechs or something in Upheaval.
In Black Ops 4?
No, maybe it was CeeLo. I think CeeLo came, in Black Ops 3. It was one of the DLC maps with like the mech suits around the map that you get in. Roundhouse never came back.
You can't get in any mech suits in Black Ops 3.
Yes, you can.
In a different game mode, but not in like TDM or Dom.
Yeah, no, the mech suits were part of the map.
You can get in them.
Yeah, it was a DLC map. Yep, you can get.
Yep.
I
know what you're talking about.
That was a World at War map that they remastered.
I don't remember you being able to get in any mech suits on.
It was like the last DLC, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't remember the multiplayer's DLC cycle in Black Ops 3 either.
But dude, there was a lot of banger maps in World at War that were pretty small too. Some of them were big, but like Battery was, I thought of more S&D focused stuff, but we could just spend a day going through every World at War map. Honestly, I might do that for a video. I think that'd be a freaking awesome video idea. Just like, dude, let's just silence and just explore every World at War map, including DLC maps, and just chill and just like remember this old experience. Like, honestly, I might do that with COD 4. I might start with COD 4 and like, bro, this stream, we're gonna explore, and we're gonna go on an adventure exploring every COD 4 map, because there's some old maps that are just, I think, forgotten about that were actually really good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got to talking about old COD maps, but here we are, and I don't know where to go from here.
Neither do I. It wasn't there a lot more questions in the thing.
We're not gonna read all of them. We're just taking it for topic points. We kind of go wherever we want, you know. Go with the flow.
What's next?
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about World at War now. So.
Okay, yeah. Someone said that IBCM is the closest thing we'll ever get to Shipment in Cold War, and I've said the same thing too. That's a fact.
IBCM smaller than
such
Shipment.
A fire map.
Well, it's not even smaller. It's more open. I prefer I would, if there was like, you can have a Shipment playlist or an ICBM playlist. ICBM.
I'd still prefer Shipment. Not gonna lie. Shipment is still. It's got
I like
way
how
more...
open it is. To me, it gets annoying because you can kind of camp in a corner, and then now I've got to go across the corner to get over there, and you're just gonna keep getting. Like, I like this because you can't just. I feel like ICBM.
Imagine if that was you in the corner, though. You know what I mean? Like, I personally love Shipment.
Get out of the corner.
Hardcore.
Get out of the corner.
Not, I don't sit in corners. I push the other team.
No, you were like imagine if you were the guy in the corner.
Imagine if you just spawn in and
you're the guy in the corner. It's kind of good,
right
bro.
in front of you.
You're the one in the corner. You're getting so many. Yeah, but ICBM, like, I do that all the time. Like, all you got to do is rush, and you can just see them spawn, and then you can look back, and there's like 6 more here, and then you can look over here, and there's like, I don't know, ICBM.
I like the spawn traps in the map. I do. I love when you can get spawn traps.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's harder on Shipment because then they can camp, and now you've got to turn the corner. Where ICBM, I can see you. I can see you spawn. You're not camping
but what about
anywhere.
the head glitch? What are you talking about? That head glitch is worse than anything on Shipment. The only other thing that's worse than that head glitch on IBCM is on World at War 2's shipment when everyone would just mount with an LMG and fire across like the trash cans. That was the worst. But the head glitch on IVCM, as soon as you spawn in, you go up the little ramp, there's somebody on across right behind there, and all you can see is their head. Like, I'm talking like just like my hat, you know what I mean? And you're trying to like aim. Good luck with iron sights. You're done.
Learn how to aim. I get them fine.
You don't.
I just spam. Honestly, I just hit fire with the MG82 and I get them off the head glitch every freaking time, bro. You just gotta hit fire that MG82. It doesn't matter what head glitch they're on. You're just in hardcore. You just spam that thing any direction. You just hose them down, hose them down, hose them down. All directions.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that's funny.
I like it. I know I do like it though. It was cool.
Hear about the health cap? Health cap's being changed.
Oh, dude, I didn't get a chance to read the patch notes, and I'm so like bummed about it. I've got to do it later.
Only if you knew someone who made a very concise video. It's weird because
only if I didn't have to work.
Oh my god!
Actually, the patch notes were kind of confusing. Looking at it, it's hard to tell what the new health cap is. You kind of because they don't tell you like this is the new health cap. They're like, all right. Well, previously the health cap was 100%, and then we added 300%. Now we're not adding 300%. We're taking the original, minusing the 200%, and adding just 100%. Like it's not like. You kind of got, and a lot of people, like when I made my video, like Lego, you're wrong. Like this is not how, and I'm like, no, I sat down and I did all the math here. Like these are the new values for everything based off of the percentages they're giving us. Cause they're like in the patch notes, they're telling us like the old, the new, and then the difference between the old and the new to get where we're at now. Like they give us everything laid out. So a lot of people were confused.
Patch notes, bro.
I don't know if they were patch notes or a blog post because they're technically the patch isn't out yet, so they weren't really patch notes. They're like, this is what we're doing. It might not necessarily have been patch notes.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, I don't see nothing.
But the new health cap's gonna be 60,000 at around 55.
Oh wow!
You can do that with a little bit of math.
They said that it was reducing from 300% to 100%.
Yep.
Good on ya. Good on ya. Like I was
although
so
they're keeping the headshot multiplier.
Hey, Lego.
This is gonna shut up. This is gonna
yo Lego.
This is gonna be pretty like.
If you're watching this, that's you, and we've always said it for like weeks now.
And that could be your spot. You could actually take that spot if you want to be on the podcast. That could be you saying that. That could be you.
So we can talk about Call of Duty more.
No, I think after the map comes out, I think we're like right now. This is like Zombies podcast.
Everybody in the chat's like, this podcast is way too much about Call of Duty.
Well, it's just because the map's coming out next Thursday, and that's all what we all play. I feel like the next podcast is going to be mainly about like I don't know, pecker size.
I would love to get on here and talk about mental health. I think there's a lot of other things that we could. Whoa.
Yeah, I could talk about that for days.
I'd love to talk about like
mental health,
just YouTube stuff and like taking it as a job and just like the struggles that goes through to grow a channel.
Internet, like jobs.
Yeah, there's so many topics I like to talk about in my life. You know, just
college.
Right now, it's mainly zombies, but it's not always going to be zombies. It's just the most exciting thing in my life right now, and for a lot of us, is the new zombies map coming out a week because we've waited 4 or 5 months for this. So yeah, we're kind of hyped for it. Pretty heavy topic.
The most exciting thing in my life is streaming. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sure you guys would agree.
Well, me too. But me streaming involves all zombies.
We haven't really addressed everything that was in the trailer yet.
So
really, what else really was there? I don't really remember much. Like that was. I think we talked about the big main takeaways. The little cameo at the end, mule kick.
I'm sorry, we can't talk about the story.
Well, you can. I mean, Raptor want to click
if you know the story, then sure, you just have to explain it to us.
No.
But I also still don't really care for much of the story. Unless they're like, here's Eddie. Right. I'm like, whoa, how'd they do that?
My God.
How you do that, man? I'll be like, oh, Cole, Trey, come here. I'll be like,
I'm not going to lie. I've been watching
the Klaus
version.
Who?
The robot, the mannequin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know the robot, but it's like, who is that, bro? Was it Ted? If it ain't Ted, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
If it ain't Ted, I don't care.
If they named him Ted and it was like Ted 2.0, oh, Trey, Trey, come here, man. I love you, man. You know, I keep smiling. That's when I would be like, oh, man, this is cool.
Did the Silver Protector have a name, or was his name just Silver Protector?
Silver Protector.
See, that's like, I feel like you would have got more personality. Like, no one cared about Silver Protector. At the end of the day, there was no. I feel like this character, people are gonna like, bro.
Hey, whoa. That was the first time we've seen something like that.
Yeah,
right? but I cared about the Silver Protector.
I feel like they did, but I feel like people are really gonna get attached to Klaus, and it's because you've given a name to this thing. Silver Protector was just a generic, like, you know, it was a Silver Protector. Whereas once you start like Ted,
he has more personality.
When you talk about Ted, like they give Ted a personality, they give him a name. Like Ted's still iconic to this day. When's the last time you heard anyone talk about the Civil Protector until we saw this trailer? That's like, oh, that's like that one thing from Black Ops 3.
No, yeah, you're right.
So I think Klaus is going to be a huge thing. Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge for a map because the Civil Protector would have made an awesome, like, you know, memento in Black Ops 3 if they really gave it, like, maybe if it was like, I don't know.
The Maxis drone is more,
Bob.
you care about the Maxis drone more than Civil Protector, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're giving something personality because that's going to add, that alone gives huge props to a map and makes it way replayable. And from what it sounds like, they put a lot of voice lines in him, which we need because all of the characters in the game right now are operators that don't have voice lines. So at least it's going to be something that has dialogue pertaining to what's going on.
Put a toe tag on him, I'm throwing the whole map away. I will never play that map again. If Klaus ever says, yo, put a bag on him or reloaded, anything, any basic multiplayer quip, I'm definitely not playing. Klaus will never be summoned in my game. Yeah, right? Like, they're in my like, you're gonna be like, man, these zombies.
I'm hoping really you can hand him
like,
weapons.
That would be funny to me. Handing him weapons? I don't know how that's gonna work.
Like, I hope he doesn't just have an M16 and that's it.
Or you can upgrade him with salvage, like instead of giving him weapons,
get a weapon out of the box, pack a punch it, and give it to him.
Or you could have multiple tiers of weapons. You can spend like 1,000 salvage, and now, you just got him instead of the basic.
Oh, you can upgrade him in tiers. That would be
cool. You got like the
tier
1, tier 2, tier 3. Get him supercharged.
Klaus is upgradable.
Like skills. Because I don't think skills.
No,
like a skill tree for Klaus.
But a skill tree in game, like you don't know, like in game, like 1,000 salvage, you get like kind of like weapon tiers. Like
pack a punch. For example.
Spawns in, he's a red tier Klaus, bro.
Pack a punch Klaus.
He's a red tier Klaus. You spend 1,000 salvage, you've now got a green tier like Klaus. You another 1,000. Oh, there you go. There's a blue tier.
I wonder if Klaus can die. I would imagine he can.
He probably just loses power. To be honest, he can probably lose power, go back to station. You got to rebuy him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he might be just like a one-time thing you can buy. If he dies, then he dies.
No. He'll definitely be because he's gonna be a part of the Easter egg. First of all, right? He's gonna be a part of the every map asset, especially the new ones. They're all Easter egg oriented. So you're gonna have to be able to summon them again. They're gonna have to be repeatable, which is why I think the crafting things, the little balls or whatever they're all, like those are gonna be like. You pick them up. Right?
I bet money I bet money that they're in the crafting table and you can buy them for salvage. I bet
money they guarantee they are.
I bet money they aren't.
I won't make bets with Silky because he doesn't.
If not, I think if the other thing is gonna be unlockable throughout an Easter like a side quest and then you unlock them. Like same with the entrapment devices. I do not think that you'll be able to pay for them with scrap.
I do.
At all.
Positive. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I will
you definitely will be.
Well, all right, we'll find out on the next episode.
All right, I guess we're all making money then.
This is where well, no, you can't make money on Silky because he doesn't pay up on his bets.
I'm firmly believing that there's no way that they're gonna. That's the lamest thing in the world.
Well, hey,
that's reserved.
That's what they do. Lame things.
When you're watching this podcast, potentially this question has been resolved for all we know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But why didn't they do that with the entrapment device?
Because those weren't useful.
They don't matter.
Those were.
What do you mean they were useful?
Those were just.
Those weren't
useful.
Those weren't meant to be. This is meant to kill zombies.
Those were literal Easter egg things.
This is meant to be like a Gersh device. This is meant to kill zombies. It's meant to teleport you across the map. That was meant to capture a mimic for an Easter egg step.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of it. Or meant to catch a zombie or a monkey with a banana.
You can do
and you didn't have to
to
assemble those either. Yeah, but they were just laying on the floor.
That stuff wasn't the purpose of it.
I still think it's the same thing. You have to do something in game to unlock them. Because if you could just spawn in and buy them, that's gonna be like, who's gonna care about these things at all?
I will because they're the best.
If they're the way you're saying they are, then they're just gonna be on the floor that you can find them.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's it.
I'm saying you're gonna have to unlock them through a quest in game. I think you're gonna have to do something,
and then they'll also just be a one-time use thing.
No,
they're not gonna be something you can constantly.
This is gonna be hilarious
if they're gonna be that way.
For people listening to this after the maps came out, and they're just like, these two people are idiots. Like, and it doesn't matter because we got two people on both sides, so it's either like, dude, Lego and DX. Dumb, or they're like, Left and Silky don't know what they're like. So I think that's hilarious.
I really don't. That doesn't even make sense. But we'll see.
We'll talk about it in the next episode.
I can't wait to give you guys the fattest "I told you so" when it does happen.
I can't wait to give you the fattest
30 gifted subs. Let's go.
No, it's not. That's not what I'm giving this fat. It's gonna be
we're
something
not,
else.
We're not paying you anything.
Yeah, you're not getting payment.
You would.
You're taking payment from this point. Some fat payment.
Whoa.
So we're what? But I think it's actually a pretty good spot to end it. We're like an hour 20 minutes in. Chilling. We talk pretty much exclusively about zombies. I kind of like the World of War talk. I like talking about World of War maps. But other than that,
I could tell.
that's where we're going to end off this podcast. And this will be the starting topic of the next podcast. Will be whether or not these devices were craftable or not, and then left. And, you know, Silky, you're going to feel like idiots when me and DRX are like, oh, maybe we'll have a different host. I don't know. We're going to be like, oh, we're right. But yeah.
Screen.
Any last words, boys, before we end this off?
Yeah, we'll be right.
Any last words?
You're not.
No last words. As always, everyone link's going to be in the description. Once again,
rest in peace.
If you want to listen to this on Spotify, which if you've listened this far, obviously you have no reason to listen on Spotify because you listen. But for future episodes, if you want to hear the Spotify version,
what the hell are you doing, Silky?
Left
uploads. For the blue screen to pop up. Left puts the Spotify version in the description. Click on that. It's also going to be live on Silky's Twitch. If you want to check it out live, make sure to follow there. And yeah. We're out.
Pieces. You're bleeding out.
What is that, bro?
Come on.
Let's go.
I'm not dancing.
Get a dance.
This is not
part
happening.
of it. I can't dance either.
Nope.
Silky's kind of showing.